Thomas Jefferson.
Do you want a man for president who's seasoned through and through, but not so doggone seasoned that he won't try something new? A man who's old enough to know
and young enough to do.
Well, it's up to you, it's up to you, it's strictly up to you. But it's Kennedy, 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 Kennedy,
Kennedy, Kennedy, Kennedy, Kennedy.
Do you want a man with spirit who is not afraid to fight?
A man whose record shows that he will fight for what is right.
A loyal man who brings the job a fresh new point of view. Well, it's up to you, it's up to you, it's strictly up to you. Cause it's Kennedy, 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 Kennedy,
Kennedy, Kennedy, Kennedy.
And do you deny to any man the right he's guaranteed to be elected president, no matter what his creed?
It's promised in the Bill of Rights to which we must be true.
So it's up to you, it's up to you, it's strictly up to you. And it's Kennedy, 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 Kennedy for me.
Kennedy, 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 Kennedy.
Do you like a man who answers straight, a man who's always fair? We'll measure him against the others, and when you compare, you cast your vote for Kennedy, and the change that's overdue. So it's up to you, it's up to you, it's strictly up to you. Kennedy, 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 for me. Kennedy, 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 Kennedy.
I did it again. Forgot forgot the microphone. Welcome. From my wow, I'm still fighting this cold. Still, we got sick. We got this on, I think, Black Friday, the Friday after Thanksgiving. So we have had this now for 10 days. And Kristen was almost there. She was almost there. She was almost all the way better. And then today kind of slid back a pretty good distance, by the way. I think I sound relatively decent, but I am struggling. My voice is kind of coming in and out. I sound nasally occasionally. It's been a thing. It has not been fun. Let's put it that way. Welcome from my humble second bedroom here in the Saucon Valley, part of the Lehigh Valley, in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, part of these United States, Western Hemisphere, North American continent, on this planet Earth, the only one we have. Third rock from the sun in the Terran solar system. This is TKE tonight, the Kennedy Effect tonight for the 10th, Tuesday, the 10th of December, 2024. We are quite literally, tomorrow's the 11th. I mean, the 10th essentially is done for all intent and purpose. We are 13 days, from Christmas Eve, 14 from Christmas Day, and a little over 3 weeks. No, actually, we are. I think we're 3 weeks today from New Year's Day. I got a runny nose. I told you I'm fighting a cold. It's not pretty. Welcome to Donna and to Randall. And I don't know who else I might be missing. Let me try to get over to here. See who I might be missing. I'm not sure. Karen Ann, I'm not sure I recognize you from previous programs, but welcome. Thank you. How kind of you to check us out tonight. You picked a bad night because you're going to hear me with the sniffles all night. And you're going to see me dabbing tissues, which is not pleasant. This is why we always refer to it as a radio show. Not great when you get to watch that part of it. But anyway, Randall, Donna, Karen Ann, welcome. And I think and Carol. Welcome, Carol. I haven't seen Carol in a while, unless I've just missed it. And if I have just missed it, then that's on me. But welcome to all of you for being here, or welcome to all of you. Thank you for being here. Let's get to the business end of the program. You are watching and listening to TKE Tonight, Kennedy Effect Tonight, for the 10th of December, 2024. We are currently live. The video streaming of the program is live on the TCP Media Group, Our Revolution Pennsylvania, OWR, Our Revolution Pennsylvania, Ghost Claw Productions, my personal Facebook, Jeff Kennedy, my name is right there in the bottom left-hand corner, and our home group Facebook page for all things surround our program. That, of course, is That Other Side of Information. It also happens to be the name of our YouTube channel, and it just so happens that we are live there right now as well. youtube.com/That Other Side of Information. We are live on Twitch right now. Jeff R. There's an R there. Jeff R. Kennedy. And we are live on LinkedIn, Jeff Kennedy as well. The audio of the program blasting around the globe via GCPR. Our website link is right in the chat, as it is every time that we come, that we are here to visit with you. GCPR, Ghost Claw Productions Radio, gcpr.live, gcpr.live. Beautiful new website, recently redesigned by Gilbert. It is incredibly simple to read, to use, to follow, to understand. And I don't just mean because it's in English, I mean because it's just incredibly simple to deal with. And I hope that you will visit us there, that you will learn about GCPR, and that you will support us. You can listen there for free, by the way. gcpr.live. Go to the upper right-hand corner. I believe I had that correct. The upper right-hand corner. There's a play button, what looks like a play button on an old, I don't know what you know how old it is. Like an old cassette player. There's a little triangle up there. Looks like a play button. Hit play, and you're listening. No credit card, no money, no login, no fingerprint. Don't have to sign over your house. None of that stuff. Just give us a try. We think you'll like it. We very much think you'll like it. And we hope that you'll give us a shot. Help Desk, I believe, was on right before us. And Hurricane Girls is on immediately following us on GCPR from 9 p.m. Hurricane Girls from 9 p.m. Conversations with T. Nathan from 11 p.m. Thomas returns tomorrow morning from 8 a.m. We are scheduled to return to you here at TKE. We are scheduled to be back with you on Thursday evening and then again on Sunday from 6. I went through the business end and the hellos, and it's only 11 after. That's really something. I didn't even talk about the weather yet. And by the way, it happens to feel like spring. Yeah. And I say spring like in a contextual point of view because it's not that warm. But it's in the upper mid-40s. It was mid-40s when I got home. 45. It felt warmer than that. It's supposed to reach the lower 50s tomorrow. December 11th, it's going to be 53, I think, degrees. I mean, you just don't have to be a climatologist to know. Everybody says a rocket scientist. In this case, you just don't have to be a climatologist to know that something is different. Now, I don't want to say I'm a fan of global warming. I don't think you could be in your right mind to be a fan of it. But I can tell you I prefer it warm instead of cold. And so the fact that it has warmed up a little bit this week, it's been just so much more comfortable. Thank goodness. That's nice. It's just nice. We're expecting a big weekend here in the at the Kennedy compound, such as it is. A 2-bedroom townhouse. Family coming in to enjoy the Christmas this weekend. And I know it's still a little premature. I usually try to save these greetings and salutations for right up on the edge of the holiday itself. But please allow me and on behalf of everyone at GCPR and on behalf of everybody here at our program to just wish you the absolute best of this holiday season and whatever holiday it is that you might celebrate, or you know what, if you don't celebrate any at all, and you just like to use the winter solstice as a good excuse to get together with your friends and family and put on silly sweaters and watch silly movies. Good for you. If you're not hurting anybody and you ain't breaking the law, it's none of my business what you do with yourself. It doesn't matter to me if you go to a 3-hour-long Catholic candlelit mass at midnight, or if you, like I said, sit home and eat insane amounts of popcorn and watch crazy movies. It's none of my business. None of it. But please know that for all of us at GCPR, and God knows there's a wide variety of folks here at GCPR, as well, from Christmas to Hanukkah to Festivus to you name it. However you celebrate, if you celebrate at all, we simply wish you the best of the season, which is safety, comfort, friends, family, warmth, and I don't mean just temperature warmth, security, health, prosperity. And prosperity comes in so many different ways. But just, we're glad that you're part of the GCPR family. We hope that this family continues to grow, and we just want to bring you the best radio station we possibly can. Our kind of tag line here, I guess, if you will, is every voice matters, and that means yours. Doesn't mean just ours. We're not here to lecture to you. We are here to have conversations with you, and that is our hope. And in fact, I think maybe that's a really good jumping off point for me tonight. Now, Randall just put in the chat, did I see a news story about Trump's incoming administration? And I think calling it an administration is gracious of Randall to do such a thing. It's a regime. It's hard to be the administrator of anything when you don't want it to run. But I understand his point. Randall's a smart man. He chose to use that word, so I shouldn't use it for him. Wants to reassign state Air National Guard units to be designated as Space Force National Guard units. I did not see that, but to be honest with you, if that's the worst thing that he thought of today, we're doing okay. It doesn't mean that it doesn't bother me. It doesn't mean that I don't share, some of the alarm that you do. I get it. Like, I do get where you're coming from. Truly, I do. I guess all I'm trying to say, and I do think if we put too much of what Trump does and what the people in his orbit do, or what they talk about doing, or try to do, or the billionaires that own them try to implement through them, if we try to contextualize it too much, I think I actually pronounced that word correctly. That's pretty good. If we try to contextualize it too much, then we risk normalizing it. And if you would like to call me guilty of contextualizing this, then perhaps, to be fair, maybe I am. But if the worst thing that happened, because after all, he signed, was it legislation or did he do it through executive action? I can't remember now. But he created, if you will, Space Force out of the Air Force, in the same way that the Marines were created out of the Navy. So they are a fully fledged military branch. So for them, why should they not have reserve units the same way that the other branches do? And again, at the risk of over contextualizing this to a point of normalization, if this is the single worst thing that he did today, then that's one less day. It's one more day we can scratch off the calendar toward a time when Trumpism ends one way or another. And it's one less day that he has to do something even worse. So I hope I'm not deflating you there in any way. I see what you're saying. I hear it. And I think I hear it within the context of the way you're trying to present it. But yeah, if that's the worst thing that happened today, I'll take it. He didn't launch a brand new he didn't launch a brand new line of blue jeans or wines or try to start a NASCAR race team or some ridiculous shit like that, like you would expect him to do. So at least maybe that's not so bad. I don't know. But anyway, what I wanted to do, and Randall reminds me that Space Force was an executive order. I honestly couldn't remember. Yeah, I think, in fact, I think if I'm recalling correctly. And remember, I will always try to tell you if I'm just working from memory. I'm not perfect. And I told you a lot on Sunday. Even though we had a short program on Sunday, I told you a lot on Sunday. I'm not any smarter than you. Truly, I'm not. I'm more experienced at doing this. I know more about this. I know more about radio. I know more about broadcasting. But I'm not smarter than anybody. And I'm not better than anybody. And that's why I beg, I implore you, I try to encourage you every single time that I'm on the air to talk to me, talk with me. Send your comments in through the chat the way Randall just did. It doesn't have to be a phone call. If you're embarrassed to talk on the air, you're nervous about it or whatever, there's only a few million people around the globe listening. It's not a, don't worry about it. It's okay. It's just you and I talking. It's still just a conversation. You've heard Randall on, heard Mike, you've heard Gary. My father-in-law has called. I mean, we've had state reps call in. I mean, it's easy. It's just a conversation. And that helps me pivot to what I wanted to talk about tonight. I have not even really paid attention to the news too much in the last couple of days and over the weekend for a couple of reasons. One, I was on call for work, and I worked a lot because heaven forbid we could go too long without working, right? Geez, we're Americans. Heaven forbid we should be able to do crazy things like, I don't know, sleep. And not have two cell phones in our pocket and not, have a laptop that we have to carry around with us in case at a moment's notice we need to find a place to set up and begin work. But do I sound a little hangry? Maybe. But all that said, I also unplugged from the news a little bit. And I do try to unplug from the news on weekends, which might sound a little crazy, considering that this is what I do with you, especially on Sundays. How do you disconnect and then still do a program on Sunday? Well, depending on your listening and viewing habits, maybe I don't do very well at it. I don't know. That's kind of more up to you than I. But of course, I read all the apps that I generally read. I scan through them. I may not dig deep down, but I will always headline scan. I'll always try to see where the trends are moving. And I've noticed that the assassination of United Healthcare CEO Mark Thompson has been a very, very fascinating story. And it seems to have really struck a chord is the terribly overused cliche I was trying to think of. Really seems to have struck a chord with a lot of folks in this country. And I decided, well, let me back up. The person who's thought to be, alleged to be the assassin, and I'm blanking on his name, which is ridiculous of me. I'll find it very quickly. George, by the way, is not here tonight. He's not even tuning in offline and helping me monitor everything online, because he is doing what George does, and that is taking care of his in-laws. his wife's family. George is about the most loyal, and I know that word has actually become tainted in the Trump era, but all the good ways that you can describe a loyal human being, that's George. Family first, friends first, everybody but George. He also recently celebrated a birthday. He is 29. Trust me, never was very good at math, but trust me. The story has been really, really fascinating because it really does seem to have struck a chord with folks. It has ignited passions, both political and otherwise, on both sides of the aisle, from many, many different points of view. It has taken people from that are very, very loud out on a certain side of the aisle and made you think it's not exactly the who spoke that. It's not exactly the reaction I would have thought that particular person would have had. And so for that, let me take you to what has become my go-to. And again, I have to tell you, the redesign of this app is really disappointing. I just don't think it's as easy to use as it was. I don't think it's as easy to read. I don't think it's as easy to use. I'm not a fan, and I wish I knew how to change the layout back to the old one. But anyway, from the AP, the Associated Press, headline: From wealth and success to murder suspect. The life of Luigi Mangione took a hard turn. Luigi Nicholas Mangione, the suspect in the fatal shooting of a healthcare executive in New York City, apparently was living a charmed life. Grandson of a wealthy real estate developer, valedictorian of his elite Baltimore prep school, and with degrees from one of the nation's top private universities. Friends at an exclusive co-living space at the edge of touristy Waikiki in Hawaii, where the 26-year-old Mangione once lived, widely considered him a great guy, and pictures on his social media accounts show a fit, smiling, handsome young man on beaches and at parties. Now, investigators in New York and Pennsylvania are working to piece together why Mangione may have diverged from this path to make the violent and radical decision to gun down United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson in a brazen, and it happened to be, by the way, daylight, attack on a Manhattan street. The killing sparked widespread discussions about corporate greed, the unfairness in the medical insurance industry, and even inspired folk hero sentiment toward the killer. And that's kind of what I wanted to talk about tonight. The many, many different angles and layers of this assassination. It's funny, if Brian Thompson was even a stockbroker, even if he was a pretty damn wealthy stockbroker, I don't know that would qualify in American lexicon as an assassination. It seems you only assassinate really famous people or really rich people. John Lennon was assassinated. You assassinate political figures. You generally don't assassinate CEOs. And maybe, by the way, that is one of the layers to this story. Not one I was even thinking of until just now, which proves, as a side note, there is still some brain activity. And that's a good thing. So this murder has risen to the level of assassination. CEOs, chief executive officers of mega corporations are now public figures. They are now celebrities. They are now powerful to the point where they're not simply just murdered, they're assassinated. They are now held on the same societal level as celebrities and politicians. But after all, why shouldn't they be? They own the celebrities and the politicians. But here's where I need you. Every single program I come on and I ask you for your comments and your questions, and I ask you for your participation. I want you tonight to tell me in the chat as many different layers and nuances and like phyllo dough, like a really, really good croissant. How many different layers you can think of this story, or how many different layers have come to you? I'm going to try to run through as many different ones as I can think of, because I think this story is uniquely American. This doesn't seem to happen other places on Earth, but I'll get into that in a second. It's 8:31 Eastern Time, 8:31 p.m. Eastern Time, and you're listening to and watching TKE Tonight, the Kennedy Effect Tonight, for the 10th of December, 2024, Tuesday, December 10th, 2024. We are live on the Facebook pages of the TCP Media Group, Our Revolution Pennsylvania, Ghost Claw Productions, my own, Jeff Kennedy, and of course our home group Facebook page for all things that surround this program, That Other Side of Information. We're live on YouTube, That Other Side of Information. Yes, it's the same name as the Facebook group. That's supposed to make it easier for you to remember. That Other Side of Information on YouTube as well. And as always, if you ever miss any of our live programs, not only can you watch them live and in real time on YouTube, if you miss them, the best place to go back and watch is YouTube. We are live right now on Twitch, Jeff R. Kennedy. We are live on LinkedIn, Jeff Kennedy as well. The audio of the program blasts around the globe via the internet radio station. I am humbled, first and foremost humbled, and honored to be co-owner with Thomas in, and that is, of course, GCPR, Ghost Claw Productions Radio. GCPR.live is the website. You can listen live right there. GCPR.live. GCPR.live. GCPR.live for Ghost Claw Productions Radio.live. You can listen to us right there. Check out our broadcast schedule. You can listen to old shows there. You can read bios of our hosts. You can read synopses. I got all my big words really good tonight until that one. You can read synopses of all our shows. Check out the schedule, all of it, right there, GCPR.live. Speaking of schedule, here's the upcoming schedule. Hurricane Girls immediately follows us from 9 p.m. right here on GCPR.live. Conversations with T. Nathan tonight from 11, and honestly, every night from 11. You can't miss T. Nathan. The man has a lot to say. And every single night, it's fresh and new. He's somebody who needs to be heard, and you need to give him a try. Conversations with T. Nathan from 11 p.m. Thomas returns to you tomorrow morning from 8 a.m. with the sound of coffee. Our humble little program returns to you Thursday, the 12th. Thursday, the 12th, from 8 p.m. I gotta move my mouse. Randall says in the chat, MSNBC interviewed his friend and roommate today and said that the suspect suffered from a back injury and the problem of not being able to have physical, intimate relationship with women. Okay. I've damaged 5 discs in my back, 4 up top, 1 down bottom. Where there's a will. But I get the point. Or Randall's going to think I'm beating up on him tonight. Truly, I'm not. I'm just, that's why I ask you to put comments in so we can talk to each other about them. And then if you want to fire back at me, you can put another comment in the chat. That's how that goes. That's how it's supposed to go. Anyway. What I wanted to do is I want to try to look at some of the different layers to this assassination that I can think of. And again, we kind of previewed one there before the reset. That Mr. Thompson was assassinated. He wasn't just murdered. Meaning he has reached a level in our society where he's assassinated. It's not just any normal, quote unquote, normal kind of murder. Now, look, I'm going to preface all of this because I try to preface things. I try to be careful about things. I've told you the story before that on one of our anniversary shows, April was live here in the studio. I'm pointing to the other broadcast location, right next to me over here. And she said, you don't have more people don't listen to you because you're boring. But you're boring in the best way possible because you don't lie. You don't scream, you don't swear, you don't make a monkey out of yourself, you don't climb on the table, you don't throw things, you don't break things. And one of the ways that I try to do that is to preface what I've tried to say to you. I could just throw the hot take out there and just kind of mic drop it and walk away from it. And then just kind of ignore the consequences. But I don't think that's honest. I think there's an intellectual honesty that's missed in that. So let me preface a lot of this. Mr. Thompson, by all accounts, was a greedy, desperately ambitious, money-hungry little animal. He was Gordon Gekko. He was the test tube baby of Reaganism and Wall Street and unbridled capitalism and all of their sperms and eggs mixed up in a tube and got Mark Thompson. Now, of course, the people who knew him since he was murdered will tell you what a great husband and wife and father. The reporting I saw shows, he had 2 children, both girls, if I'm not mistaken, but that he was already divorced because as he got richer and richer, he had a lot more options. Am I judging him morally? No. God judges, not me. Do I have a lot of problems with Mr. Thompson? More than I can count. I've never had United Healthcare that I can recall. And from everything I've heard about United Healthcare, I'm pretty damn glad I've never had it. I've been pretty lucky that most of the private health insurance that I've had through employers in my life has been Blue Cross and Blue Shield. Not always, but nearly all my life it's been Blue Cross and Blue Shield. So did Mr. Thompson deserve to be murdered? By all that is holy, by all that this country stands for, or used to before Reagan? No, of course not. It's the same thing President Biden said when they started taking shots at Trump. This is not how we solve things here. We have 330 million people with 500 million guns. But that doesn't mean the immediate answer to every question is not to shoot at it. You've heard me butcher the old saying a million times before: when all you see are nails, the only answer you have is a hammer. Of course, Mr. Thompson did not deserve to be shot. And I want to be very, 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 I don't have enough varies. There's not enough time left in the program for the number of varies. Of course, he didn't deserve to be shot. To be honest, there's nothing wrong with him being a rich man. The system is built from the inception of this country for people to come from nothing and become something. So the fact that he became wealthy, there's nothing wrong with that. How he became wealthy, there's a lot wrong with that. Let's think about where. Well, let's do a very quick diversion. Let's think about how Mr. Thompson was murdered. Oh my goodness, with a handgun. Oh my God, what a shocker. My God. Holy shit. Somebody in the United States was murdered with a gun. I can't even believe that such a thing would be. I can't even. Let's skip that and let's talk about where. Mr. Thompson was murdered walking into a stockholders meeting for a health insurance company. Think of the layers. Think of how many things are wrong with that sentence. A stockholders meeting of a self-identified health insurance company. Let's think just about the word insurance in itself. To insure. Insure is somewhat analogous to the word guarantee. I insure you. I am insuring this house that if it is destroyed, you will be reimbursed for its value. I am insuring you as the builder of this house. If it should collapse around you, I will make it right. It's tantamount to a guarantee. We do not have health insurance companies in this country because they do not guarantee you anything other than a bill. They can guarantee you that they will extract every dollar of wealth they can from you. And once you have no more wealth to give, they'll just drop you. But I'm asking you to think. I'm being very serious here. I'm asking you to think about this. Man was walking into a stockholders meeting for what is supposed to be a health insurance company. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Really? Why would a health insurance company have stockholders? It's almost as if they had profits to maintain. But they do have profits. Currently in this country, the insurance industry, and again, we throw the word industry around like it's kind of the way we throw around the word sex symbol or celebrity or hero. Or if you're a president or ex-president, the way we throw around the word billionaire. Industries generally make things. They produce things. Not the insurance industry. This is a business model built on not delivering the very service it sells you. Their job is to literally get in the middle of everything that you're trying to do to take care of yourself. Think of how simple this could be. You are sick. You have the flu. You know who your doctor is. You could call, make an appointment. Maybe you could go online, make an appointment, or maybe you could just walk in the door. You see the doctor checks you out. It's just the flu. Yes, you don't feel well now. Very sorry that you don't feel great, but we got this. Here, in fact, I'll even use the example of where I live. I can walk to my doctor's office. That's why I chose them. And I ended up finding one of the best doctors you're ever going to want to meet. Like, literally. She could make a mint, an absolute mint. You know, fixing soccer moms' noses and stuff. And their other parts of their bodies. But she consciously chose family medicine. That said, and so I could walk down and see her, and she could say, yeah, it's the flu. Go across the street to the pharmacy, give them these, they'll give you your medicines, you should be okay in about a week. And on the way out, I pay the doctor, and then I pay the pharmacy when I pick up my prescriptions. And maybe I can pay for them on my own, or maybe I show them my Medicare for All card, my national single payer ID card. And that's all I need to do. And I walk away, and I'm all done. Instead, the insurance banking industry has inserted itself into every single aspect of this medicinal process. My doctor has to be a doctor that they have decided I am approved to see. That, from my doctor's point of view, means she has to be part of a large hospital group that probably has some sort of prearranged kickback style contract with these various health banks, which is what they are. They're banks. And it's really what we should call them, are banks. Mark Thompson was a banker. He ran a bank. It happened to be called United Healthcare, but he ran a bank. Bring in money. Don't let any money go out. Let's stuff all the money that we don't let go out in our pockets. If we should happen to have a huge run on money, we won't have any. And that's okay. We'll just go to the government for it, and they'll give it to us. And you know what? They bloody well would have. Both effing parties. That said, this entire house of cards, Republicans like to talk about Social Security as some sort of Ponzi scheme. You know what the real Ponzi scheme is? The American healthcare, wink, 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 system. This isn't a system. Think of, how do I do this here? There's 11 people in a line. And it doesn't matter what they look like, who they are. There's 11 people in a line. I go to the first person in line and I hand them a cup. There's items in the cup. And I said, look, this cup, with what's in it, needs to get to the person at the end, or that person dies. Well, the people in the line are Mark Thompson and stockholders and investors and big pharma and the hospital chains. And yeah, I'm going to say it, big unions and billionaires. And they're all the ones in this line. 11 people. So I hand Mark Thompson the cup. I said, are we clear now? This cup with what's in it needs to get to that man on the end, or he dies. So Mark Thompson looks at the cup and he goes, I'll have one of those. And then he hands it to the stockholder. So, I'll have one of that. Processing fee. I'll have one of that. And the investor goes, oh, I got to get some of my investment back. I'll have one of them. The hospital group says, we built this brand new hospital. By the way, it's only 100 yards from the brand new hospital we built 3 weeks ago, but somebody's got to pay for all this, don't they? The hospital group, by the way, that's paying no taxes because it's a hospital. I'll have one of those. By the time it gets to the 10th person in line, there's only one person left. Well, there's only 2 people left, right? There's 11 people in our line. By the time it gets to the 10th person, there's only one thing left in the cup. That 10th person is the so-called healthcare professional. Not your doctor, but the healthcare professional. I'm using so many air quotes tonight. It's like really revolting. It's bordering on mime. It's like bordering on French mime. Is the so-called healthcare professional who will decide what treatment you're worth, what you qualify for. Now remember the instructions. This cup has to get to that man at the end of the line with this in the cup or he dies. Well, the insurance company paid healthcare professional whose salary is structured and incentivized on approving the least amount of care. And with Mark Thompson and the other 9 people in line staring at them, says, well, you've already been waiting. There's only one left anyway. We think you don't need this. Takes it, hands the man an empty cup. And that's American healthcare. Except that, by the way, the money for that entire process was paid for by the man who was person number 11 in the line and the one that's going to die. The entire system is built on it. And then we're going to wonder why this young man shot and killed Mark Thompson. Again, Mr. Thompson does not, would never, under any circumstances, deserve what happened to him. But why are we shocked by this? Can we be honest with ourselves and say, how the hell has this not happened sooner? Why hasn't anybody taken a shot at the CEO of Aetna or Blue Cross or Humana or hell, Wells Fargo? Why hasn't anybody tried to shoot Jamie Dimon or Musk or Zuckerberg or Bezos? Do I want any of that? No. We're Americans. We're supposed to be better than that. We're supposed to be better than that. I don't want to see it. I hope I never see it. But would we really be shocked if we did see it? Isn't there a part of us somewhere, honestly, when we read that story that said, wow, kind of surprised I didn't see this happen sooner? Because I'll tell you, when all the headlines were breaking, United Healthcare CEO shot dead in broad daylight outside stockholder meeting, I thought, yeah, okay. I don't know what everybody's freaking out about. Maybe that makes me cold and callous, to be honest with you. Maybe it does. I'll take that. He was killed outside a stockholder meeting. Not a meeting about how to produce better services. Not how they can eliminate red tape from the policy holder to the doctors, to the hospital, to the pharmacy, to the patient. Oh yeah, by the way, the patient is the fracking policy holder. They're the same fracking person. Mark Thompson's job was to deny you health care, but then take your money to provide you health care. It was to take your premium and hand it over to stockholders while you suffered and died. And now we want to have righteous indignation. Oh my God, I can't believe that young man did that to him. I can't believe nobody did it sooner. It was very French Revolution. It was very French Revolution. Mr. Thompson was very bourgeoisie. I didn't say that right. My French is bloody awful. Mr. Mangione was a peasant. Mr. Thompson was bourgeois. And it was a very French Revolution act. He didn't deserve it. But can we honestly be shocked about it? I'd like to try to pick this up on Thursday if we could, because there's so many more layers to this story, and I find it genuinely fascinating from an anthropological and societal point of view. I hope we can pick it up again later this week. Hurricane Girls comes up immediately after us on GCPR and many of these video outlets. Conversations with T. Nathan from 11. Thomas tomorrow morning from 8. We return on Thursday, gcpr.live. If you missed any of the program tonight, youtube.com/that other side of information. To all the new faces that I saw in here tonight, Karen and Karen Ann, and I saw very old friend Kathy, which means everything to me. Lehigh Valley for all, hello. To everyone that I saw in here tonight, come back on Thursday. We'll see you then. For everybody at GCPR, for everybody at the Kennedy Effect, I am Jeff Kennedy. We've done all the damage we can do for one night. Hurricane Girl starts right about now.